do have scholarships for all students. We have general one for every student who qualifies into the degree education, that is 25% for all. And we also have other scholarship packages for everyone, but this one is based on merit. Terms and conditions apply. Admission is ongoing. We do admission in January and in October. Because of the COVID-19, our form is going for free. Apply and school at HCC and your life will never be the same.
A very good evening and welcome to Truth TV News at 8 with me, Michael Adam. We are transmitting live from our studios here at the Heritage Christian College University in Amasaman. Coming up in the headlines, Ghana records 702 new COVID-19 cases and 6 deaths. Also, SHS placement list to be released on Sunday. Later in business, COPEC to oppose any plan to increase transport fares. And with news on the foreign front, COVID-19 vaccinations begin in South Africa. We have details of these coming up shortly. Do stay. Let's settle now for all the details of the stories. Now, the number of COVID-19 related deaths recorded in Ghana has risen by 6 of today, February 17, 2021.
According to the latest updates by the Ghana Health Service, newly recorded cases as at February 13 is 702. This keeps the country's daily infection rate within the 700 average, as has been the case over the past week. The number of current active cases has no further risen to 7,866, with a cumulative number of confirmed cases now 77,748. 69,321 of the cumulative number of cases are said to have recovered from the virus, whilst 561 of the total infections have resulted in deaths.
Now, barring any last-minute hitches, this year's schools placement will be out on Sunday, February 21. The Director General of the Ghana Education Service, GES, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwah, has hinted.
The placement will cover candidates, both school and private, who wrote the Basic Education Certificate examination in 2020, as well as other re-entrants. In all, about 525,000 qualified BEC candidates will be seeking placement into 721 senior high, technical and vocational schools of their choices, which have declared about 535,000 vacancies. Professor Opoku-Amankwah said that the GES had worked closely with the West African Examinations Council to release the results of the majority of the candidates whose results had been withheld, adding that there were currently less than 100 candidates whose results had still been withheld. He added that there were enough vacancies for the candidates, for which reason there was no need for any candidate or parent to panic. The Director General explained that a challenge with the computer placement system had always been an issue of choice and not the availability of spaces. He further said that over the years, the number of candidates who qualified to be placed was always far below the vacancies available. He said only about 100 schools out of the 721 were usually oversubscribed. On the arrangements being put in place to address overcrowding of candidates and parents, he explained that unlike the previous years when the management of the GES had to set up solution centers where those with genuine issues could go for help, this year because of the COVID-19, they want to avoid a situation where people will rush to the Black Star Square and other places to gather. So they are setting up call centers to receive and work on issues people may be coming up with.
Now let's move to court, where the Accra High Court hearing the case of Dr. Frederick Yao Mac Palm, in held over alleged treason, has adjourned the hearing to April 13, 2021 due to the upsurge of COVID-19 cases in the country.
Justice Samuel K. Isiedu, an appeal court judge with additional responsibilities as a high court judge, said the court had been advised that due to the rise in cases involved transporting accused persons from the prisons should be held up for the meantime. He noted that trial would start on April 13 on condition that the situation improved dramatically, adding that by so doing, the lives of the inmates would not be endangered. All the accused persons have met their bail conditions except Donyo Kafui, Johannes Zikpi, a civilian worker for the Ghana Armed Forces, and Corporal Isiedu Abubakar, a soldier. The trial was booked to start on Tuesday, February 16, after the jury was empaneled on January 21, 2021. Meanwhile, Mr. Victor Kwajoga Adawudu, counsel for Donyo, and Corporal Akampeu prayed for the court's direction on an alibi application he had filed for his clients. Prosecution team led by Ms. Winifred Sapong, Principal State Attorney, was charged by the court for Corporal Akampeu, as it had informed the court that it had only completed that in respect of Donyo because it did not know that of Akampeu. Counsel for Warrant Officer Class 2, Esther San, also appealed to the court to vary the part of the bail conditions, which compelled her to report every 2 days to the military commanding officer to enable her perform the mother's funeral rites in Wa, as she was in custody when she died. Ms. Sapon objected to the oral application and asked the counsel came with a formal one, with the court agreed. Prosecution had earlier told the court that Dr. MacPalm is a medical doctor and the director for the Citadel Hospital. Donyo alias Ezo is a blacksmith. Deborah is a freight manager, whereas WO2's son, Corporal Abubakar, Lance Corporal Ali, and Sylvester Akampeu are soldiers.
Now, the Minister-designate for Roads and Highways, Mr. Kwesi Amakwata, has said the second administration of President Akufo-Addo will concentrate on the dualization of all major roads across the country to significantly curb the carnage on the
in 2018 explained that he only implemented a decision taken by cabinet and so cannot be held responsible for the judgment debt. While admitting that a contract was cancelled during his tenure, he said all the actions taken at the time concerning the various renegotiated power deals were decisions of cabinet. Meanwhile, the Institute for Energy Security has said the $134 million judgment debt likely to hit the government of Ghana is one that is damaging to the country's reputation and finances.
Now, away from that, an abandoned 45-year-old maternity and baby unit building project at the Kumfuanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi is to be pulled down.
The 45-year-old structure, meant to accommodate 750 beds, lecture halls, restaurants, operation theaters, among others, has been found to be too weak to accommodate all the equipment and the number of people expected to use the facility. 1576, but has since been abandoned. It has been recommended that it should be demolished for a new one to be built in its stead. Following the handing over of the project by President Nana Akufo-Addo on May 15, 2020 to the current contractor UK Limited, the latter has conducted a number of tests on the structural integrity of the building. All the tests showed that the building had become too weak to accommodate the equipment and the anticipated human traffic and might not survive the test of time. The company therefore proposed that the building be pulled down for work to start afresh on the 750-bed structure had become too old and weak, while the concrete too had become too brittle and the iron rods were also rusting. Meanwhile, the minister-designate for the Ashanti region, Mr. Simon Osei Mensah, has confirmed that Cabinet last year approved the proposal submitted by the Ministry of Health for the demolition of the structure based on the advice of experts. He explained that the decision of Cabinet to approve the demolition as such, it would need to be pulled down.
And several properties and livestock has been destroyed in a fire outbreak that ravaged an orphanage at Yam
between 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Eyewitness accounts indicates that the blaze started as a result of an inmate of the orphanage heating water but forgot and left the premises to attend to other matters. The orphanage is said to be serving as a residence as well as a recreational center and houses about 45 inmates. Built by a philanthropist, the Yama orphanage was meant to support needy children in the community. In all, property, including foodstuff, laptops, a TV set, livestock, mattresses for inmates, among others, were destroyed by the fire.
And that will be all for the local stories. We return to do business.
Do you want to enroll in a nursing school that offers a degree in nursing? Then St. Carol School of Nursing, the only nursing university in West Africa, is your incorporating bilingual ability in nursing. The school is also fully accredited by the National Accreditation Board and affiliate University of Science and Technology. St. Carol School of Nursing is admitting students to pursue the BSc Nursing program. Download application forms from our website www.stcarol.com or obtain the forms on our campus at Aplaku Botiano, about 10 minutes drive off the Wager barrier on the Accra Cape Coast Highway. For enquiries, call us on 030-293-1067 or 0245-617-790. You can email us on info@stcarolschoolofnursing.com.
No. I feel weak and tired.
Was it?
No, this feeling is different.
Why better on? Yes, sir. Chanka. Yeah. Adrenaline, this is the medicine. Your friend Chanka. Onumwa emampomudin. The boni paduano emokutia nyarawa.
You say what?
This is Chanka.
Drink. Numbi drinking now this year. Yes, that's right.
Chanka.
Yes, Chanka.
I feel good and stronger than before.
I told you, Chanka is our secret.
Chanka. Ebwa wuni peduana manu kutia nyarewa. Taifofa 202. Kutia malaria. Jefaton 202. Ebema wedi diye. FD arisha jadi enkra to imaji atumuse eye.
Do you have an interest and passion for the media? You see yourself excelling in the field of journalism and multimedia, but do not have enough time and funds to pursue courses in those fields. That is why the Heritage Christian College Media Training School was set up to give you an opportunity to train yourself for 4 months and get a 2-month opportunity for attachment at Truth TV. With our state-of-the-art studio and newsroom, experienced friendly lecturers in the field of journalism and conducive lecture halls, we offer students the chance to learn on the job with both practical and theoretical lessons. We offer courses in journalism such as newscasting, show hosting, voice training and phonetics, voiceovers, report filing, and many others. In the field of multimedia, we offer courses in cinematography, video editing, animations, studio management, master control room management, light and sound engineering, set design, graphic design, photography, and social media management. We offer intensive one-week courses in communication essentials for professionals. We have both weekday and weekend courses. We are located behind Amasaman Stadium in Accra. Heritage Christian College Media Training School gives you all the tips you need to succeed in the world of communication.
It's now time for business. Now, banking consultant Nanotu Echampon says the amount of credit from the Bank of Ghana to the 23 universal banks in the country should reduce this year when compared to the credit advanced to the banks in 2020.
The amount of money advanced to banks from the central bank throughout the period when the coronavirus was at its height was about 2.6 billion Ghana cedis as of October 2020. This represents an increase of about 200% compared with the amount banks took as credit from the Bank of Ghana as of October 2019. The jump in the amount of credit formed part of measures including the reduction in the policy rate by 150 basis points to 14.5%, the reduction in the primary reserve requirements to 8% from 10% to increase liquidity in the banking system, along with a 6-month moratorium on principal payments on loans, among others, taken by the central bank to ensure sustained confidence in the banking sector. Commenting on the increase in the amount of credited advanced, banking consultant Nana Otu Achampon said the development was necessary to ensure sustained liquidity in the face of the challenges presented by the pandemic. And I quote, "The banks had the option of borrowing from other banks but didn't exercise that option, partly because there were fears of possible defaults in repayment because of the impact of the pandemic on business last year. The lender of last resort then gets approached by some of the banks for support and it delivers without fail to ensure liquidity." Nana Utue Champon further cited that credits from the lender of last resort should be subdued this year in comparison to what was given out last year due to the seeming improvement in the handling of the virus in the country despite the rise in numbers.
In other stories, President Akufo-Addo has directed Charles Edubwahin to act as his representative at the Finance Ministry. This follows Ken Ofori-Atta flying for a medical review in the United States of America.
The finance minister left the country on Sunday to spend at least 2 weeks treating post-COVID medical complications, a situation that led to the rescheduling of his vetting. A letter from the Chief of Staff, Akosua Frima Osei-Opare, said pending the absence of the president's representative at the Ministry of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, she was directed by the president to request that he act as his representative in the ministry. The letter stated that, and I'm quoting, "You are to take note of the provision of Section 14, Clause 5, which states that you shall not take a decision involving a policy issue." Charles Edubwahin was a deputy finance minister in President Akufo-Addo's first term. He was said to be very close to Mr. Ofori-Atta as he was responsible for the country's debt liability management.
And finally, in business, Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, Duncan Amoah, says his outfit will kick against any call for an increase in transport fares.
As fuel prices at the pump continue to rise, the conversation about whether or not to increase transportation prices is gradually coming up. Prices of fuel have gone up by up to 12% at some stations. But the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, Duncan Amoah, says his outfit will kick against any call for an increase in transport fares. Presently, several oil marketing companies are currently selling fuel at 5.2 Ghana cedis a litre. However, others are actually selling below the Ghana cedis 5 mark. Global prices of fuel have increased significantly over the past 3 months from an initial price of about $48 to over $61 a barrel. The last time transport fares went up was in July 2020. The transport operators increased fares by 30% contrary to the 15 approved by the government. Several efforts put in place by the government to have the situation reversed proved futile.
We take a break now and return to do some international news.
For the past 8 years, Hope College, with its serene environment, coupled with excellent facilities and dedicated teachers, have churned out many successful graduates doing well in universities across Ghana and all over the world. Here are a few.
My name is Rejana Mensah Abusi, a fourth-year medical student from the University of Cape Coast. I attended Hope College from the years 2013 to 2016. It was a great preparatory stage for entering the world. It instilled in me virtues such as honesty and integrity, and that has brought me this far. Choose Hope College.
My name is Judith Edem Middleton Dugbe, a second-year medical student of the University of Cape Coast. I completed Hope College in the year 2019. At Hope College, quality-driven education is assured, and the mind is educated as well as the heart. Choose Hope College.
My name is Comfort Ajimandia, a level 200 law student at the University of Ghana. I completed Hope College and my stay there was a wonderful experience. Apart from the fact that the environment is serene and very conducive for teaching and learning, the teachers are also highly experienced and display an unwavering dedication towards the student's body. This dedication is not limited to classroom activities only, but extends to the social, emotional and psychological life of the students through mentorship programs. It's not based on only academics, but includes the preparation of students for the battle ahead. In this vein, Hope College promises to equip each student to face the realities of life. Choose Hope College.
The parents of our students, both past and present, are equally satisfied and proud.
My name is Professor Kwejua Piejetia. I'm assistant. I had the privilege of enrolling my son Yao at Hope College, and I considered it a blessing because he came out as a well-rounded person in terms of his behavior, how to even do chores at home, and the commitment to his studies. I chose Hope College because I believed in the principle of being raised in a close-knit Christian environment, where Christian ethics are used as a principle to discipline students and train them to become useful citizens for Mother Ghana and of course for themselves as well. Yao embodied those qualities when he came out of Hope College, and so I consider it as one of the top-notch secondary schools in the country that people should be willing to enroll their students in. So choose Hope College.
My name is Mrs. Sarah Ansan, the headmistress of Sakumono Complex 2 JHS. My daughter is Ekwia Ohiniwa Ansan, a second-year student of the college reading general arts. I chose Hope College simply because in terms of academic excellence, I think Hope College is one of the best, if not the best, because they've not been in the system for quite a long time, but their track record is something that we can boast about. I will encourage every parent who wants the child to go to a private SHS and make it to choose Hope College.
My name is Fred Asari. I am the founding headmaster of Hope College and currently the group managing director of Village of Hope. For character, scholarship, service and leadership, choose Hope College for the education of your child.
Admission in progress. Locate Hope College in Gomwafete behind the Village of Hope campus. Visit www.vohgroup.org.
Time now to bring you some international stories. Now, gunmen have invaded a boarding school in Niger State in the northern Nigeria Tuesday night, kidnapping hundreds of students. One of the staff and some of the students managed to escape. The staff confirmed that one student had been shot during the attack.
President Cyril Ramaphosa. The mass abduction comes 2 months after criminal neighbors abducted 344 teenagers from a boarding school in neighboring Katsina State. After negotiations with the authorities, the students were released a week later. On Tuesday evening, bandits entered the government college in Kagara and abducted hundreds of students and their teachers, said a local official in the area who asked to remain anonymous. These very many armed men dressed in military uniforms then took the students into the forest, according to the source. Approximately 1,000 students, but the exact number of teenagers abducted is not known at this time. Military personnel with air support were searching for the kidnappers and hostages in preparation for a possible rescue operation, the source said. For nearly a decade, northwestern and central Nigeria has been plagued with violence from criminal groups known locally as bandits, who are increasing kidnappings for ransom and cattle theft. These criminal gangs are motivated by greed, but some have developed strong links with jihadist groups in the northeast, notably those who kidnapped 344 students from a boarding school in the town of Kankara, Katsina State last December. These armed groups had acted on behalf of the Boko Haram jihadist group, which had claimed responsibility for the abduction in a video, but whose stronghold is hundreds of kilometers away in northeastern Nigeria. The kidnapping caused a global stir and rekindled memories of Boko Haram's abduction of more than 200 girls in Chibok, northeast Nigeria in 2014. These teenagers from Kankara were released after a week of captivity following negotiations between the gangs and the government of Katsina and Zamfara. On February 9, the perpetrator of the abduction, an armed group called Awalum Daudawa, surrendered to the authorities in exchange for an amnesty agreement.
From Nigeria, let's move straight to South Africa, where on Wednesday the country began vaccinations for COVID-19 using the Johnson & Johnson jab, which got into the country on Tuesday. Inoculations began with medical workers. Now, the South African Medical Association said the vaccine will be administered at 17 sites.
President Cyril Ramaphosa was one of the first to receive the vaccine. He was inoculated alongside health workers in Khayelitsha, Western Cape Province. He said the move is